Aw, it's the return of John Didn't You Miss Me Cort. This show has been hurting without its lovable schemer around, so it's time to get back to what made Baywatch great. But first, a little about John Allen Nelson. I love this guy. He's just instantly charismatic in anything I've seen him in. He even got me to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space, a movie that I'd previously been too scared to finish. He's just got this incredible likability, and, not to mention, he's got an 8-pack. So when he was brought onto Baywatch in the middle of season 1, it was mandated by the network, who wanted more eye candy. Which means he was basically foisted upon a show made by people who didn't want him around. The other leading men, worried about getting less screen time or being replaced, proceeded to not invite him to parties or make him feel welcome in the slightest.
The guys were great, but I'd come in to work on Monday morning and hear about the cast party that had been had over the weekend that no one told me about. That happened 4 or 5 or 6 times. So I don't know that I was really accepted, truly accepted.
But thank God when he left, the show stopped focusing so much on eye candy and got to the real stories, am I right? So, I don't know, I imagine things got better, or maybe he was offered a decent chunk of money for these sporadic returns he makes to the show. He seems like a real professional and is always a welcome sight. As this is also a Mitch episode, and it's something I haven't covered yet, I'd like to talk about David Hasselhoff as well. You might recall an episode last season called Second Time Around, which was mostly a springboard for Jeremy Jackson's future failed singing career, but also ended with a generous ego stroke to David Hasselhoff's currently failing music career. While he was huge across seas, particularly in Germany, his musical talents were left unappreciated by American audiences. And so, in the summer of 1994, between seasons 4 and 5 of Baywatch, he held his first American concert, a pay-per-view called David Hasselhoff and His Baywatch Friends. Yes, I'm serious. But it gets better. The night of this event was June 17, 1994. Yes, that would be the night O.J. Simpson had the infamous car chase that 95 million people tuned into with bated breath. So as you can imagine, interest for a David Hasselhoff pay-per-view waned slightly in comparison. But wait! There's more! This was being hosted at Trump Plaza, owned by someone you might have heard about in the news recently. So mid-concert, this exchange happened.
Donald Trump was in my dressing room and he said, "Hey, there's our buddy." And I said, "What?" He said, "It's OJ. He's running from the police." And I looked at him and I said, "Tell me that is not live."
Okay. So let's unpack everything here. June 17, 1994. David Hasselhoff and Donald Trump are backstage at David Hasselhoff and His Baywatch Friends. And suspected, but definitely he was, murderer O.J. Simpson is on the run for that suspected but definite murder he committed. Pile of excrement Trump's only response is, "There's our buddy," which is pretty much expected from the human embodiment of a dumpster fire at this point. But then David Hasselhoff, apparently one of OJ's buddies, can only respond with, basically, "This is going to ruin my concert!" And ruin it did. The pay-per-view suffered a $1.5 million loss and only garnered about 30,000 viewers. But let's be real here, folks. Even if the date hadn't been unfortunate, this was not going to be a massive success. David Hasselhoff's singing career was a joke, and tying it into Baywatch wasn't going to make him any more legitimate on that front, so things turned out pretty much exactly as I would expect, except more hilarious. Since then, David Hasselhoff continues to make music and enjoy his Baywatch success, and I don't know what Trump's been up to lately. He keeps a low profile. Anyway, here's an episode of Baywatch. We open with Cort on the run from Mexican police, where he stashes away a bag of stolen goods for later plot purposes. Finding nothing in his Jeep, Cort and the pissed-off guy he stole from are escorted across the border to settle their dispute there. Man, Cort hasn't been kicked out of Mexico since the last episode that took place in Mexico, where they basically told him he was an asshole, so get out. As you might recall, Cort has a degenerative eye disease that's causing him to slowly lose his sight, which can be slowed down by wearing protective glasses and limiting exposure to the sun. So naturally, this is an episode all about a desert dune buggy race. It's 'cause you're slowly going blind, you see. I get it. That's why they call me John Degenerative Eye Disease Cort. Now let's see how many blind references we can make in the next 30 seconds.
Great to see you.
Not as great as it is that you can still see me.
Wait a minute.
I know that look in your eye.
Anyway, it wouldn't be a Cort episode without some scheme up his sleeve. If it doesn't involve endangering my friends, it's not worth it. He tells Mitch he wants to enter the Baja Run dune buggy race, but since he's got that blindness thing going for him, he wants Mitch to drive. Mitch, who describes the Baja Run as the most competitive race there is, has of course driven in this race in the past. They don't specify if he won or not, but let's be real, he definitely won.
Sure, and I have 16 Olympic gold medals, but can I do this again before the next Ironman competition? It's hard being so talented and popular.
Thanks for helping me, Mitch. You won't regret it. That's why they call me John Dune Buggy Cort. Also, I don't know, CJ and Mitch stopped this couple quarreling about a script or something, and Mitch is seriously giving this woman a painful frontal wedgie. This has nothing to do with anything. I can only assume they were short on time. CJ and Cort start to rekindle their romance. Will it last forever? Or at least as long as this entire scene? Nope!
You came here because of a dune buggy race and not me? Romance over.
Meanwhile, Caroline and Logan discuss the upcoming rookie test, because, as we just now find out, apparently Caroline wants to be a lifeguard. Logan has to qualify too, and I don't know if that means he's transferring there permanently, or they've been letting him lifeguard without the proper verification this whole time. That's when Logan spots a gorgeous Sheila! Faking a leg cramp, he tells Caroline to go on while he macks on this beach resort lady. Ugh, I know where this is going. He's gonna have some boring arc about fixing a motorcycle or something that has fuck all to do with anything. Thanks, James. Oi, I am so charming.
What did you say?
Maybe if I stare at you like a murderer, you will become my girlfriend. Ho ho ho. But wait, then he says they had dinner plans that Caroline forgot about? Is she sorta kinda dating both of them? Okay, so this one's on her. Meanwhile, beach resort lady is attacked by some sort of mouth breather. Oi, get off my ATM machine! I didn't expect anyone to notice a screaming lady. Bye!
Let me help you back to your place.
It's no Friday today!
Caroline tells Stephanie that she's decided to focus on Logan and ditch eyebrows, which gives Stephanie an opportunity to argue, because she's planned her life out for her.
You should pick Matt because he's been a main character longer. Also because I want the opposite of what you want.
How does a girl let a great guy like Mitch get away and end up with a loser husband like you did?
Harsh words. But to be fair, Logan is pretty average and charmless, so worth it. Meanwhile, party in Mexico. Mitch and Cort arrive at the race, where the guy Cort robbed decides to pick a fight.
You're not gonna get away with this, Cort. Let's go, Jake.
We'll discuss this in the car, babe.
Thanks, Trailer Park Guy Fieri.
Why did I decide to wear a tablecloth today? Why? Why?
Ugh. Fun races to cool tunes? Why can't we just follow more of the eyebrow/Logan/Caroline/beach resort lady love quadrangle? Ugh.
Just take it right down to the
I can't believe Stephanie was right! She'll never let me live this down!
Plot twist! It turns out Creepy Breather was hired by Logan to scare beach resort lady so he could win her over with his heroics. That dastardly dingo! Man, Trevor's starting to look like a teddy bear in comparison. He mostly just liked doing backflips and wearing questionable Speedos. Meanwhile, united in their hatred of their rejected romances, could Eyebrows and CJ be rekindling their relationship, which the show forgot about? Meanwhile, Cort and Mitch switch places, and Cort leads them off-road so he can grab his stolen goods. Gasp! Cort didn't want to win the race, he just wanted to smuggle his stuff over the border. Okay, so more specifically, it's ancient Mayan artifacts he won in a poker game. Because of course Cort is smuggling ancient Mayan artifacts he won in a poker game.
Wait a minute. Is this a scheme, Cort?
Well, it's your fault for not expecting it by now.
Damn, you're right.
How could you get us involved in stealing and smuggling?
How could you commit suicide? I can't believe you committed suicide.
When the other guys catch up to them, it quickly becomes a race for their lives. What? That's it? That lasted like 20 seconds.
I'm miss Cort.
I miss Summer. I mean Caroline. I tell you, that really means something.
I'm proud of you for turning loose those artifacts to the orphanage.
Excuse me, what? When did... the orphanage?
That's why they call me John Didn't Write This Very Well Cort.
After a heartfelt talk about the future and accepting his blindness, Cort is further upset when CJ reveals she's dating Eyebrows now.
Haha, that should take you down a peg, Blindy.
Spite dating is the best. Bye!
Well, old buddy, looks like I blew that one too.
Yep.
Next time on Baywatch, dangerous hang glider stunts, daring rescues. Meanwhile, Hobie throws an unsupervised shindig. Party on!